Hey guys, welcome back to the Calibrate Tools and DIY channel. Today we're going to learn how to use one of these bad boys, a drill press. See you right after this. All right, so we have all the parts of our drill press unboxed, ready to assemble. First thing we want to do is take our base and our column. Now, if you notice, on the base you have 3 holes here. And on the base of the column you also have 3 holes. So all you have to do is place this on the base and line the holes up. Just like that. Then you want to take these 3 bolts and install them in the holes. Then you want to take a crescent wrench and tighten them down. Next you have your work table. And back here is the table support bracket. And right here is the table lock handle. You have to make sure that the table lock handle is threaded into this opening on the table support bracket. Now it comes already threaded in, but if it's out already or if it comes out, make sure that you thread it in right here. Just like that. Then you want to take your work table, making sure that the silver side is facing up, and you want to place the table support bracket over the column, just like this, and you want to lower it onto the column and turn the table lock handle clockwise to tighten it. Now the table is secure until you have to adjust the height. All right, now right here on the headstock, you're going to see these 2 set screws. You want to make sure that you loosen them so they're not protruding inside the headstock. Because when you lower the headstock onto the column, you don't want the set screws to get in the way if they're protruding inside the headstock, sticking into the headstock, because that'll stop it from lowering onto the column. So you have this Allen wrench here to make sure they're not protruding into the headstock. So just loosen them up. If it's too dark down there to see the lower one, you can just run your finger over that to make sure that you don't feel the set screw sticking out. So next thing you want to do is you want to take your headstock, and if you need help, get help. And you want to lower it onto the column as far as it'll go. Make sure it's all the way down. Then you want to line it up with the base. You want to make sure it's lined up with the base. And once it's lined up, you want to tighten these set screws now. So you take your Allen wrench and just tighten them. And once you do that, you want to take your 3 feed bars and feed them or screw them into the feed bar seat. You got 3 holes there for each one. All right, so now it's time to install the chuck onto the drill press, onto the spindle right here. First thing we want to do is loosen the table lock handle, turn it counterclockwise, and then we want to raise the work table to within 6 inches of the spindle. Then once we get it there, we want to tighten the table lock handle. And then if it's not already, we want to open the jaws of the chuck all the way to its maximum. You can either use your hand to do that, or you can use the chuck key that they supply you. Just place this portion of the chuck key into the hole on the side of the chuck like that, and then turn it counterclockwise to open the jaws all the way. Then you want to take a piece of scrap wood and place it onto the work table. You want to make sure that everything's clean and dry, that there's no uneven spots on the wood or anything like that. Then you want to take your chuck and place the nose of the chuck onto the piece of scrap wood like this, right under the spindle. Then you want to gently lower the spindle using the feed bars into the chuck. Now before you continue lowering the spindle, make sure that everything's aligned. So just take a quick glance and make sure everything's in place. And once you do that, you want to lower the spindle all the way down, and you want to press the chuck hard against the piece of wood. And that's going to secure the chuck onto the spindle. The spindle isn't exactly a straight cylinder up and down. It has an angle to it. So when it enters the chuck, it presses against the inner walls of the chuck, securing the chuck to the spindle. Now, if you need to drill holes at an angle or work with angled surfaces, you're able to do that by tilting the work table. All you need is a wrench or a 19mm socket to loosen the bevel lock bolt right underneath the table, and then you can turn the table to whatever angle you need to using the bevel scale. Now right here is the depth stop adjustment, where you adjust how deep you want the drill to go. You do that by twisting these nuts right here. Right now, they're all the way to the top, which is the max depth for the drill. It covers the full length of the shaft, but if you turn the nuts clockwise and bring them down, the shaft will stop right there, meaning that your drill bit can only go so far. The lower you go, the shallower your depth will be. And the scale is from 0 to 2 inches. Now we're going to lower the work table because we're going to install a drill bit. All right, so this is a 1/4 inch drill bit. So to install the drill bit, we're going to take our key and we're going to put this end, once again, into the hole on the side of the chuck. And we want to make sure that the teeth on the key match the teeth on the chuck, that they interlock with each other. Then we want to turn the key counterclockwise to open the jaws of the chuck. Then we want to insert our drill bit into the chuck. And we want to make sure that it's centered before we start tightening the jaws onto the drill bit. Then we start tightening. And what you can do is tighten with your hand first. You may be able to center the drill bit better with both hands. And then once the drill bit is secured in the chuck, then you can use your key to tighten it down. And we're going to go ahead and plug it in. And we can turn it on and spin the drill bit to see if there's any wobbling or if it's off center. It looks pretty straight to me. As you just saw, this is the power switch, and this switch right here is for the flexible light assembly. So you can see what you're doing better. So we're gonna bring our table back up. Tighten the handle. And we're gonna adjust our depth to go a little deeper, about 1.5 inches. We got some mild steel, about 1/8 inch. And place it on the work table. We're gonna secure it with the only clamps I have right now. Go down slowly. This piece of metal is about 3/8 of an inch. It's a little thicker than the last one. When you're cutting thicker metal, you may want to use some thread cutting oil to keep everything lubricated so you won't break your drill bit. Now you can also change the speed of your drill press. But before you do that, make sure that the main switch is off and that it's unplugged. Then you want to open the pulley cover. That's this right here. Then you're going to see two pulleys. One belongs to the motor. As you can see, it's connected to the motor right here. And then the other is attached to the spindle. Now, if you notice, they're both shaped like a cone with concentric circles of different diameters, resulting in a pyramid type shape. And the belt is positioned or wrapped around a specific circle on the pulley. Each of these graduating circles represent a certain RPM. Right now, it's on the lowest RPM. That's 750 RPM. And it tells you on a chart right here. As you move up the circles, the RPMs increase. 1100, 1500, 2100, and lastly, 3200 RPM. So in order to loosen the tension on the belt so you can position it for another speed, you first have to loosen the motor tension knob, which is this right here. By loosening this, turning it counterclockwise, you're able to push the motor assembly towards the headstock. When you push the motor this way, it loosens tension on the belt, allowing you to take it off the pulleys and position it on another circle to give you a different speed. After you position it, pull the motor back away from the headstock and then test the belt. Just push it in and it should deflect about 1/2 inch. Then tighten the tension knob to lock it in. Your drill press should come with a chart with all the recommended speeds for each drill size and your material. Wood, aluminum, zinc, brass, iron, and steel. All the recommended RPMs are right here. And these are the positions on the pulleys for each RPM. Remember, guys, when you're using one of these things, make sure you wear your safety equipment, safety glasses, read your instructions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Love to see your comments below. See you in the next one.